That's great. Andy, you starting or am I starting today?
I'll start.
Start up.
Hello, our fellow, well, forget it. We won't do that. Actually, we're back. Andy Scott and Robert Buchholz of Scott Roberts and Associates. Always good to see you again.
We're not wearing raincoats.
That's true.
And galoshes because...
Well, the hurricane is gone. It's a beautiful day.
Beautiful day here in Lake Worth, Florida.
We're hoping that you survived the storm as best as you could. We had some electrical issues here, but no significant damage and what have you. We hope you and your family did well and got your power on as soon as possible. I understand there were some people that had no power outage. I want to know where they live.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But we did have some limited power here. Had a great team, and I hope that our clients that needed work, that you were well served during our period of a little bit of limited capacity here. Right. But we're up and running. We're ready to go, and you know, I'm glad to be back.
So are we. I got to tell you, no AC, all heat, no good. But by the way, Scott Roberts was up and running though on a limited basis, which was very important. So. Even throughout this ordeal with Hurricane Irma, we were available and processing orders, so on and so forth. So we're very fortunate to have the staff that works so hard off-site.
Right.
So Robert and I have some great news, and I think I'm going to let Robert introduce that news.
Just back, when I mean just back, of course Scott Roberts is back full power, and I'm just back from Sao Paulo, Brazil. There's some notes on our Facebook page. Please take a look. But we are at the very beginning of a new Brazilian background screening company, and we're going to actually import, Andy, our USA background screening model into Brazil. Had final meetings with our Brazilian counterparts in Sao Paulo and in a smaller town about an hour's flight out of Sao Paulo called São Francisco. Really nice, had a great lunch there. And we're able to finalize all details. Looks like we will be launching our new Brazilian company. We're going to be partners of. It's called Check IT or Check It. Check.it. Check It. And looking forward to it. We got a great team of partners down there, and we have some very significant state-of-the-art technology.
Exactly. The other thing that's interesting about the expansion down to Brazil is that we were actually contacted from folks down in Brazil, businessmen, entrepreneurs, and they recognized the quality of Scott Roberts and the accredited status that we hold in the States relative to background screening business. And as a result of that, Robert had business relationships down there. It ultimately
matured,
worked itself into opening up a business down in Brazil, a company that do this, and there's no other company down in Brazil that can do exactly what we're going to be able to do at Check It, and maybe you can explain what's so important about that.
Well, it is important because the Brazilian central district courts throughout the country, there are 88 central district courts in Brazil, and we have direct daily access into those particular courts. So we're able to check criminal records back as far as the law permits in Brazil, and that's a significant step because generally speaking now, court records in Brazil are checked by a court runner, somebody actually going in physically searching paper records or looking at a central computer in the courthouse. And this technology is a significant and really a giant leap forward.
Without a doubt, the technology is the key to this, in addition to obviously the acumen and experience that Scott Roberts brings to the company. And between those two and the relationships we've fostered with our business partners down in Brazil, we think it's going to be very, very successful. And the issue here, though, is that technology that is able to grab information from not just one location, but multiple locations throughout the country.
All 88 courts simultaneously.
Exactly. And not to deflect or defer away from the exciting news about Brazil, but we have a similar capability in Verifinity.
Absolutely.
Is that almost very similar, if not?
The difference, obviously, with Verifinity and the Brazilian technology accessing the courts directly, Verifinity accessing incarceration records, police holding cells, county jails, etc. So that with Verifinity, employers are capable of knowing the next day if a particular individual was involved in a criminal incident.
Precisely. And in Brazil, the difference here, although similar in nature, goes into the courts and pulls that information from the courts, not from the area by which somebody was incarcerated in.
Right.
So these are court records in Brazil, and we're looking forward to its growth. It'll only enhance Scott Roberts here domestically, and we feel that we're on to something both down in Brazil and of course here. For those of you that are not clients of Scott Roberts, you should try us out because of a variety of reasons, not because of two good-looking guys, but our competency, our staff, and our young lady that is our camera person is snickering behind the camera about that last comment.
These camera persons. One of these days we're going to turn that camera around. I think, Janny, that's what
we do. I think we might do that now. But
yeah.
Anything else about Brazil? You know, we're actually contemplating, if not working effortlessly, to go into the Caribbean basin.
Caribbean basin, Latin American market is a future target for us. Taking the Brazilian technology and actually transmitting it across that particular spectrum. So it's going to be a very exciting 2 or 3 years coming up, and for us here at Scott Roberts and for our clients. And the new technology is not technology that hasn't been tried. We actually access the technology through our computers and our research. We have research analysts here that have been trained in the use of that technology already. So as the technology improves and expands beyond the Brazilian borders, we're going to be able to expand that particular market as well. So really big things. Brazil, we're really excited about being able to move into the Brazilian market. And two, Verifinity, which is our local domestic daily continuous criminal offense monitoring partner. We're doing okay.
I think we are. So with that, not until we see you again, just consider Scott Roberts, mention us to your friends that have that are employers and or their landlords, realtors, those
property management people. We'd love to be able to talk to you about Scott Roberts, the things that we can do for you, our competitive pricing, our high quality reporting, our trained fair credit reporting, certified staff.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're an accredited agency. Give us a shot.
Have a great day. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.